Hello, everyone. I hope you all are doing well. You know, it is Black History Month, and I had time to think about some things that have happened um, in our nation's history. And a movie came to mind, and that movie was entitled Birth of a Nation. And in this movie, every stereotype of Black people that D.F. Griffin could come up with, he did. Black people being ignorant, naive, savages. Um, and one big thing that he really pushed was black men trying to take the precious white woman in his movie. And Woodrow Wilson at the time touted this as a masterpiece, this movie. And the movie, far as cinematography, was brilliant. But the slant was to say that black people needed to be enslaved and really monitored because at the end of the day we're savages. And I hope people are. I hope they're seeing that Donald Trump's meme of Michelle and Barack Obama is not surprising. I think black people have been saying all along that racism still exists. And I think this president has ripped the lid off of how people really feel. Um, I think some white people are embarrassed because Donald Trump, for the most part, pretty much yells out what they've been thinking. And I put in my title, "We are not monkeys. We are not savages. We are not subhuman." And that's what that is about. Um, Donald Trump attacks the Obamas, again, a black man who held the highest office, and really tries to discredit his accomplishments and his achievements. And what really upsets me as well, we know good and well that Kamala Harris would have been a better president than Donald Trump. We know with Kamala Harris, we wouldn't be in a trade war. We know that we wouldn't have these high food prices. Now, is she perfect? No. I think her fight would have been with people trying to help folks, or better yet, not seeming to help people enough. Um, but we can sometimes be our own worst enemy by agreeing with these people. And you all, I have been in the world long enough to know that there are a lot of unqualified white people in positions of power. And the only reason why they got there was because of nepotism, because who they knew, because their contacts and connections, their affirmative action, if you will. It's how they get into colleges. They do backroom deals. They meet on the golf course and discuss business. And sometimes these people are not qualified, but they get put into these positions because of who they know. And I think Kamala Harris was more qualified than J.D. Vance or any other of the vice presidents, that were out there. Kamala was a judge. She was a lawmaker, and we want to dismiss that because, again, we let colorism get in the way. She's not black enough. She's really Indian and black. And it's like, still in all, her Indian heritage did nothing for her because people are still racist. Do you not know that some fringe white radical groups are endorsing Gavin Newsom over J.D. Vance because they don't like the fact that J.D. Vance is married to an Indian woman? Where did it stop? And so, again, Vivek Ramaswamy got his ass handed to him because those same people said that you're Indian. We don't want you. So, again, I don't know why we think that she has an advantage because she has mixed ancestry. She still identifies as a black woman. And I think that we get caught up in this stuff and we don't understand that. We think that other people are more qualified and they're not. Look at the people Trump has put into his cabinet. Do you think that those people are qualified? Really? Do you think they're qualified? Pam Bondi. Look at the person who was over the Department of War, as they call it now. These people aren't qualified. And Trump took all of those black qualified men off of their posts and tried to go for some black qualified judges just for their skin color. Most of those black men who were in high position in the Pentagon, they have at least a graduate degree. They have served their country. They have led. Now, what we fear far as affirmative action is happening in Trump's cabinet. But I'm saying this again, we're not monkeys, and I'm going somewhere with it. See, you all, I know that people expect us to be ignorant, non-ambitious, they expect us to be violent, unlearned. And this is why it bothers me so much when we tell people you don't need no college degree. I can understand if you want to go to trade school and learn a trade. I can understand that. But sometimes we are our own worst enemies. And when you understand what our ancestors had to go through, and I bring that up again because it's Black history. When you understand that a black person could get killed reading, and a white person could lose their life or go to jail for teaching a black person how to read, because those people knew that knowledge was power. And then we have the nerve to discredit and disregard our ancestors by telling people that you don't need to go to college. Knowing that that's one way that the people, the man, keeps us from top paying jobs. It bothers me when we tell people not to vote, knowing that our ancestors died so we could vote. And how do we repay them? By telling people not to. And people expect us to do crazy stuff. Now, let me tell you something. The B sector is the B sector. It is truly entertainment. But I do not live my life according to this sector. I really don't. And that's why I say to people, what is your black history off of these sectors? What are you doing off of the sector? What are you doing to invest in yourself? You can't shame me from working because I'm a productive citizen. I don't expect the government to pay for my food. I don't expect the government to pay for my rent. I don't expect the government to do that. Not until my Social Security, and Social Security is what I paid into. So with that, that's not an entitlement. That's my money. So that's kind of different. But we're not monkeys. Even though some of us play into the man stereotype, our people are a resilient people. Our people are survivors. And unfortunately, there are some of our people who really don't know the struggle and don't know what people had to go through to get to where they were so we can be where we were, or where we are rather. Some people don't realize that it's a blessing that I can live where I live. Not that many years ago, up into the 70s, they were redlining people, so black people could not live in certain neighborhoods. You were relegated to live in certain areas because they made laws and had clauses where white people couldn't sell homes to black people. It was okay for us to clean the house, but not live in the neighborhood. And this is why black history is important. This is why I really can't go in this month. Because as much as I want to really shade people and do that, but I'm like, no, it's black history. And even in our history, we've had people who tried to hinder the struggle. We had people who thought they were connected to the master and would give up information because they thought they were close to the master, not knowing that that master didn't care about them either. And we still have that. But that's why I can't really do a whole lot. And when you look at the climate we're in, we shouldn't do a whole lot of things. It's bad enough that we have people externally trying to destroy us, but it's even worse when your own people try to destroy you. We're not monkeys. Some people don't know who they are. Some people don't know their legacy. Some people don't know what the ancestors did so we could be here today. This is where I will credit my Jewish brothers and sisters. They don't forget. They tell their children, they tell their grandchildren and their great-grandchildren and their great-great-great-grandchildren. They never forget. And they take it very serious. And that's what we need to get. Because if we don't, we'll find ourselves right back where we were. And we don't want to go back. So I'm just being as real as possible, you all. And I know people saying, you're trying to be over direct. No, but we really got to realize that we come from greatness. We come from a people who were separated by language and tribes and mixed all together, didn't know the language, but learned how to communicate, learned how to survive. We were fed the scraps and we made them delicacies. Now, people are taking it like they found something new when we were doing it all along. We took your music and we improved upon it. And let me say this, I don't hate any other race. I'm definitely not going to put mine down at the expense of someone else. We are all God's children. We all bring something to the table. I thank God for everybody's contribution. But it always seems that the black contribution is always overlooked. Always overlooked. And it's sad because we'll be everything except black. I know people who are Indian or are mixed in Indian heritage, anything except black. Shout out to those people who had a chance to pass for white, but did not, and say, hey, I'm black, even though I could pass. That's deep. So that's what I'm here for today. And we're not monkeys. Sometimes we do some monkey shit. But we're not monkeys. And I'm saying that because when people make our most prominent couple monkeys, then what do they think about you? If that's what they think about Michelle and Barack, what do they think about you? Lyndon B. Johnson said, if you can make the poorest white man think he's better than the best colored man, you can take the money out your pocket. If you find him somebody to make him better than hell, he'll give you the money out of his pocket. That's Lyndon B. Johnson. Lyndon B. Johnson knew what he was talking about. And for years, people have told other white people that you are better than the best black man. And they've been paying for it ever since. Now I think the nation is realizing and waking up to the realization that you're not special. You're just white. And if you're not part of the 1%, you ain't in that group. You're not special. You're just Arabic. You're just Asian. Because these people have shown you that if you're not white, you're beneath them. They don't care who you are. Because this racism has been ingrained so deeply within them. And this is what they do. Thank God there has always been conscious people who are white. And I always tell you, there wouldn't have been the Underground Railroad without white people. Because there are some conscious white people who know that we are all created in the image of God. We are all equal in the sight of God. But it's unfortunate that a lot of people have been taught hate. If they think Michelle and Barack Obama are monkeys, then what do they think about you? And I'm only bringing up Michelle and Barack because, again, it's to tear up the credibility of black people. And I know people are like, what? No. These were people with power. Black people in the White House. And if I can destroy their image and make them look incompetent and subhuman, then I can do it to all of you. Michelle and Barack both are Harvard graduates. Both have graduate degrees. Michelle was the administrator for a major medical corporation, a hospital. She kept the lights on when Barack was a community organizer. So she's very capable. She supported him when he was taking his bid to be a politician. I'll go far enough to say that Michelle Obama could run the White House and the nation just like he could. But Michelle sees the bull crap. She sees the phony and fake people. Michelle is a monkey, but your wife plagiarized her speech. And again, the whole thing is to discredit a whole race. And y'all may not see it that way, but when you have a figure such as Michelle and Barack, they're gone out of office and people still love them. That bothers him. When Barack Obama made that joke about him, that thing killed him to his soul. And when you're dealing with people who have low self-esteem, when you're dealing with people who are really narcissistic and are insecure, you got a Donald Trump. They're the best. They're the best. They're the best. They're the best. Everybody else is losers, 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 losers. Watch people who always calling folk losers and beneath them, because those are people who really are throwing out hints of projection. Nobody's a loser. Now, do you make some bad decisions that can hinder you from your progress? Yes. But for the mere fact that you are here makes you a winner, biologically. Biologically. But watch people like that. This is why I don't deal with certain people. Even in my show, people tell you who they are. Like I tell you, I'll give you light like shade. But, it's sad that people can't even give you props. I don't have to like you, but if you got a talent or a gift, I will give you props. But I don't even do that anymore because, again, people take it the wrong way. They take it as adoration, and that's not what it's about. It's about just giving honor where honor is due. I have blocked some more people. I'm telling you, I'm on a blocking spree because I really feel that, I don't laugh and giggle in people's face and try to lie to them. So when Room Shaker came up with Lady Nika, I didn't pussy pop and pussy pedal and backpedal. I told it exactly how I saw it. And I told Room Shaker exactly what. Don't have to be scared of what you said. But when people always trying to fix it up and present it like this, and no, I'm diplomatic where I need to be diplomatic. I don't need to be an incendiary device. I don't need to always set it off. There's a time and place for everything. But we need to practice emotional intelligence because, again, some people know exactly how to push a button. They know exactly how to make you look bad and bring out the worst in you. And you leave those people alone because they do that for your demise. And people like that already done messed up their life for the most part. So step back. Thank you all for riding with me. I'm almost to the other house right now, and I appreciate it. Yeah, this Black History Month, and I plan to take a hit because some things are not worth it. I don't want to continue to make a man's alcoholism and his trauma my commentary. And there's a lot of people who I just don't want to make my commentary because they have issues in their life that they really need to handle. And I don't want to cause any more pain. People are not drinking just to get a buzz. They're drinking to get away from the problem or whatever it is that is ailing them. They're really trying to run away from. I'm just saying. So anyway, you all, let's really focus on this Black history and what our people have done. What's up, Ebony? And like I said, y'all, people go to popularity as well, and that's good. I'm glad, but consistency. Let me tell y'all what happened. Let me give y'all a good story here, and hopefully it will make sense to some people. Hopefully it will resonate with some people. I have a couple of friends in my personal life who actually work for Toyota on the assembly line. And that job is demanding, but they make good money. All of a sudden, Tesla comes into play. Now, I want y'all to catch this. Toyota has been very generous and benevolent to their workers. They offer great insurance. And Toyota has been around for a long time. Toyota has been consistent. But because Tesla is shiny and new, and because Tesla has these electric cars and they have this billionaire as the CEO, a lot of people left Toyota and went to Tesla. And they felt going to Tesla would advance their careers as well because, you know, they may have been maybe stifled at Toyota. Can I tell you that Tesla has had such a major layoff and that a lot of those people who came from Toyota were the first to go? Do you think they can go back to Toyota? Hell no. Because they saw the shiny, flashing lights and the bells and whistles, they jumped ship from consistency, reliability, and went to new, shiny, but not predictable. Elon Musk is unpredictable. Elon Musk does not care about his workers. And I'm telling you, sometimes we got what we wanted, but we lost what we had. And I see a lot of that. SpaceX has really um, capitalized on the Kennedy Space Center. When I was growing up, the Kennedy Space Center was where everybody wanted to work in my county. Boeing, Lockheed Martin, Rocketdyne, Rockwell, Harris, every space defense company was there. And the Kennedy Space Center, they spent money, but they really were serious about keeping people and keeping people employed. Now, SpaceX is the dominant employer at Kennedy Space Center. Unfortunately, they only keep people every 6 months. They use their wisdom and knowledge and they discard them and go. No one has a full time career. Well, most people don't have full time career. They're only contracted. And once SpaceX is finished with you, they discard you. This has caused our hometown to have more leasing homes than homes that can be owned. So now I'm seeing subdivisions where you lease your home, not own it. Because SpaceX only keeps their employees for 6 months, and it has changed the whole landscape of buying houses. And the sad part about it is that these leased homes are expensive. They're starting off at $2,800, the minimum a month. And what I'm trying to say to you all is, everything that glitters ain't gold. You can say whatever you want about Obama. He was consistent. You know, if he said it, he was going to try to do it. You know that, you can kind of depend on his word if he said he was going to do it. Trump said he was going to give y'all $1,000. He going to give a little money in your pocket. And all of y'all are getting excited and ecstatic about it, not knowing that you're going to be taxed on that money, and it really doesn't work for you. Oh, I'm not going to have people tax on tips. But what he didn't tell you is that it's so many stipulations, you can really never benefit and break through with that. Because everything that he legislates has a catch to it. So I'm saying that, you all, today. Don't get caught up in this shiny stuff. And that's not only for politics, that's in real life. That's in real life. I'm not impressed because somebody tells me that they make this, and the third. Okay, and I don't know how you got that. I don't know what you're doing to maintain that. And this is where we get caught up. We're always comparing ourselves to other people. Now, let me say this to Ghetto and anyone else, talent, whoever. I am too old to be in competition with somebody, period. But especially with someone that I do not know, that we don't have any relationship, or I don't have a relationship with. And my thing is, if you are making that kind of money, why am I going to hate? Why am I going to be envious and jealous because you're successful? People always saying you bragging. No, I don't brag on anything. I ain't never told anybody I was wealthy. I told people that I am comfortable and I can get what I need to when I need to. I'm a simple, practical person. I'm not trying to get Louis Vuitton and all of these things. And no, no, I get things that are quality and that's going to last. That's what I try to get. My house is a typical Texas home. I'm glad that I have a home. I'm sure there are people who have even more they have nicer homes. Great. But that house is what God wanted me to have. And if God wanted me to have a palatial estate, I would have had one. And it's not because I'm not striving, but I have a clean home. It's mine. I take care of it. I have cars. Are they the latest models? No, don't care about that. As long as it gets me to point A and point B, I'm good. So again, I just wanted to say those things. My battery is going dead. It is going dead. So anyway, I am almost at my destination anyhow. But y'all, stop trying to prove yourself to people who don't mean anything. And my thing is, if anything, prove things to yourself. You know what I'm saying? Make yourself happy. Make sure you're doing what you need to do for yourself. Stop trying to please people. Stop trying to compare yourself to people. Be satisfied with what you have. And when you're satisfied with what you have, what others have won't bother you at all. And even when people try to put it in your face and compare it, you just laugh and say, that's idiotic. And you keep on moving. All right, you all. I'm out. Y'all be blessed. Peace.